Hello, Vicki. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, Deepika. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And I know you're a bit busy with your newborn, not newborn, 18 months old child as well. But, thank you for taking this time for us and really glad you came, and speak to me. And how are you doing with your practice at the moment? And yeah, I know you got a baby and being medical doctor as well. And it is quite, balls to juggle, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of balls to juggle. I'm doing okay. I've been seeing mostly friends of friends still at the moment. But I'm just looking actually this weekend at setting up a website and starting to get a bit more organized with it all.
Okay.
Having, finally finished this diploma. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think, doing the case studies as part of the second diploma has brought me more customers because I had some good successes in there, which by word of mouth means more people are interested, and I've got neighbors that are interested in coming to speak to me. So just by casually speaking with people are interested and intrigued. And hopefully there's a level of trust there because of my GP work and background. So it's slowly building. But similarly to you, I don't really want to do Instagram or that kind of thing. I want to do it really slowly, and that's the only way I can do it now anyway
because you come here to have a less stress life, is it? And you don't have to make it stressful, to be the best, be the good, be the first, kind of thing. You have to put some, if it is there for you anyway. And if, you can have a slow step, you can carry your weight, otherwise it's like quite difficult to, I said to everybody, the practitioner, all the practitioners, just have a slow steps, and it is becoming like very, very kind of running after a few years later. But the beginning has to be slow, otherwise it causes you more stress than what you hope for. You'll come to here to have a the authentic, very good, less stress and life, and do what you like to do, and that means is much better. The slow beginning always really good for you, and then you have to have bite-sized doses, otherwise as a young mom, and then with your career it might be a little bit difficult. And how are you, how you feel like after learning Ayurveda? What changes it makes to your life?
It's made a lot of changes to my life. First thing was I had my own health issues when I first started in the first diploma that I went to see the team about. And that cured me of an autoimmune rash that I'd had for many years. And so that was the start of a lot of changes for me. And then after that, I think it kind of filled a hole for me that Western medicine couldn't really provide. This need for a more holistic healthcare, one that linked the mental and the physical and the emotional and the spiritual, that just doesn't exist, sadly, in Western medicine so much. It's all very separated. So I had that constant need and search for something that eventually I found in Ayurveda.
If it is not that personal experience, I mean, it's hard to believe as the Western doctor, it would work or not, is it? And many years you've gone through Western medication, to your own problems, and it hasn't been helped that much to your health. That means it is the key point you to turn to Ayurveda, I think. Do you think?
I think so. And I think, I've watched hundreds, if not thousands of patients who don't get better because the root problem isn't being tackled. They're being managed,
Yeah.
and their symptoms are being controlled, but they're not being cured. A cure was so rare. It was all about just managing what was happening, and it wasn't even discussed. So
Yeah.
the fact that we talk about why diseases happen and how they happen and how we can tackle the original problem to help people ease their suffering for either forever or for a really long time is so much more satisfying as a practitioner and as a doctor and as wanting to ease human suffering. Ayurveda can do that, I think, in a much more successful way. Not for everything, there are always going to be exceptions, but for most things, it to me, it's superior.
Yeah, I think, you're right, Vicki, like addressing the root cause. What make you ill? Your lifestyle, your diet, your behaviors, your attitude towards life, and, everything is cause the problem, and then this is without addressing, you can't quickly fix the people. And it is like, it's not going to be, it is always manageable. It's not going to cure anything, And when you realize that doesn't matter, you are a GP, I'm Ayurvedic doctor, is the end of the day, we are here to heal people. We are providing health to people. And that in which way it doesn't matter. If you clearly see what makes you ill, if you can eliminate the causative factors, and definitely there is huge possibility people to get better, is it?
Absolutely. I think, that's the one thing I say a lot when I speak to people from in an Ayurvedic consultation is you need to be patient. This isn't going to be a quick fix. This is going to be the long haul. You need to work with me and persevere with me. And, there is a process that you're going to have to go through, but it's worth it. And, this might mean that you may never have to deal with this condition ever again. I think in our society, it's such a quick fix. Everything it has to be now and instant. And that's difficult for our society to adapt to. But hopefully by seeing more people and getting, more success stories, people will be able to see that with their own eyes. And then I'm hoping that will be the motivation.
Yes, that's brilliant, Vicki. That's brilliant. And how do you find it as a teaching, as a teacher? Well, transforming my my knowledge to you. How did you felt it?
Well, it's very difficult not to feel you're teaching because you're so warm and you care about us so much, and it's so obvious. And you're also so passionate about it. You can't sit in a lecture with you and not feel excited about this new piece of knowledge or feel the enthusiasm as to where it's come from and how you link it to what's going on in the world. You might link it to big pharma and what's going on there, or stories of your patients. You link it back to stories from Sri Lanka, from your childhood. That is something that you can't get by reading in a book or reading off pages. And also, Ayurveda was meant to be a verbal way of teaching, wasn't it? Ancient times, you had to sit and listen and talk in a circle. And that's pretty much what we got. And it's interactive. We've all come from such different backgrounds, and you would pick on people and draw that information out from them so that we could benefit from their knowledge, whether that's, myself with the Western medicine or someone else with the yoga experiences or, all sorts of different stuff. And so, that was special as well.
Yeah, and it is really, really good to see people in knowledge application of Ayurvedic knowledge to the whole group of people, looking at them like the constitution wise also is giving a quite nice connection with the people, because it is the way actually your treatment room, you can see how you connected to people sometimes with the constitution, like it's like, like you have a bit couple to yourself, and then I approach you very differently than the fifth person or other person, and it is like quite way to connect everybody. That's Ayurveda has a big tool, and we can use it either patient, the relationships, or the children. And you just said to you about your fifth little toddler, and it is like identify him, Rosie, as a little pitable, like you had to say, yeah, I had to deal a different way with this, my child, yeah. And same as everything, like everything is different. We connected in a different way. And then if you find that connection with you, not a Vata Pitta Kapha, is like connection with my heart with you. And it is like, I don't feel any different than you sitting in front of me, or I feel you. When you transform this energy to you, I feel every of you either in a classroom or setting or the Zoom. It doesn't matter, and again, I feel like I'm very familiar with the students, I'm very much, I feel like never, I feel like, I know their names, I know, what they're thinking. If they go in anywhere in a classroom, like something thinking, I just pull them back into the classroom again. And this is asking so many questions. And then it is, I think I feel like I'm very privileged to teach you. Aww. And teach every one of you, like you're brilliant people. And again, I think this knowledge need to be passed on, is it?
I think you're right. And I think, humor is the other part of it. There's a lot of laughing that happens in our lessons, and that's wonderful, whether it's people sharing stuff or recognizing something about their constitution that other people recognize as well, and we all laugh about that, or there's an awful lot of laughter, and we've become close as a group. I'm still in contact with people from our lectures now. I feel very close to, because of the amount of time we've spent together and the experiences we've had together. So and they'll be my colleagues for life.
Yes, that is incredible. Sometimes you even haven't seen them, but still you have very, very close bond. I mean, people are meeting sometimes after COVID here and there. The first time they're meeting, face to face, and they're just hugging each other and say, oh my God, I have known you for such a long time, kind of thing. And it is incredible. And again, this forum is very open-hearted, is it? And the people can open and discuss their problems, and nobody seems to be judging, because we all human beings, and we might have millions of problems, and that's why we are here, sorting out this problem. Why we born in the first place is that, to gain this experience. Doesn't matter good or bad, but it's this experience, and then people come to that kind of place. I think learning is much possible, is it? It's like everybody in the same boat, even me. A million stories to tell you, million problems to tell you, and then we all in the same boat, and doesn't matter I'm a teacher or you're a student, we learn together. And that's what I think is important in this Ayurvedic course, I think. And how are you, how you feel with, your practice? How is going on at the moment?
It's okay. I think it's just in the early stages, really. And it's, like you said, just going slowly and trying to juggle all my other commitments as well. But
one question, Vicki, like being a Western doctor, changing to Ayurvedic doctor or practitioner, how do you feel that transition?
Quite honestly, I feel almost relief when I practice with Ayurveda, because I have the time to consult them properly. A 10-minute consultation that I don't have control over it. It's an hour and a half for the first one, and then longer for the follow-ups. People have time to relax, open up, trust you, and tell you the things that you need to know in order to dig down and find out exactly what's going on and what the root issues are. And it feels like I have the time to do my best for them. Which I don't always get in Western medicine because of the pressures and the way that it's set up there. So yeah, I almost feel relieved when I can practice.
Because we all sign up for this healing world. Either you are allopathic doctor or I'm as Ayurvedic doctor. Our main aim is the same, give the best we can do to suffering people. When you're not being able to provide that, and I think you have frustration, and that's what I say, doesn't matter end of the day, at least, I remember that one of your colleagues and the doctor said to me, Bernard, it doesn't matter, I retired. I want to know about what I have done right or wrong now. But I can make it better, for people. And this is, as a healer, you always have that desire, to be the best for your patient and then heal that person, and otherwise, what's the point of being a healer or doctor? Somebody's, the puppet or something to write down some medication to people, and then you have to actually truly see why people are ill, and why she or he coming to see me. What's best I can give it to you. And I think Ayurveda provide that stage, to be a healer, you to be using your all knowledge to help the sufferings,
and empower the patient to let them understand why they now have this disease or symptoms or what's caused that, and then you empower them to make the changes, because if they can adjust their diet or lifestyle and don't need to be on medications for the rest of their life, that's a big motivation. Or the thought that they may not have to have this condition again later down the line, or that it's entirely manageable. So it's empowering people as well, and to also show them that there is another way. They don't have to do things the only way that they know. They can try something else.
Something else. And I'm glad you're slowly stepping into this world, and you don't have to be worried. We have big supporting mechanisms. We have the clinic full of Ayurvedic doctors, including me, and then the staff and Ajanta, and then whole setup is to you to have. If you have problems, you can always have that, call the clinic and then ask somebody, and then and if you have difficulty with patient or something, you can always send it to people who has a little bit more experience or something. And then that supportive mechanism always there, because clinic has started long before the institute started, and then I have seen thousands of patients before I started to teach, and that means all our experience, all experience I gained through all my life, I want to freely give it to you, without any hesitation, because you have to have that. The people learn from experience is very different than the people learn from the books. None of my teaching is not presented to you without experience, is it? Always there is story behind that, is it? I have to tell a lot of stories to you.
But then it's easier to remember. But until you start practicing with patients, which the courses want you to do, hence the case studies, etc., you can't apply the knowledge. it's like riding a car, isn't it? You can learn how to drive a car, but until you're out there on the road doing it yourself, you can't. So you need to see the patients, you need to apply that, and then you need to go back to the information and read about that, remember it again and apply it again. And then you think about new things. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that now I'll go and try this next. And because medicine, whatever form it takes, you can't stop learning. There's always going to be something else, or a patient that doesn't fit the books, and you have to think outside the box. You have to be able to adapt. So
even though for me, like no matter how much experience I'm a teacher, I'm learning. Even this conversation, I learn a lot, every day. I think it's such a big thing, like people prepare to learn, every day from experience, either good or bad, whatever it is, and it's make your life excited for every day, see, because we are not in a fixed something, we like a container to fill it with the good, bad, whatever, and we can take best out of us, to most of the time, not for myself or yourself, for the others, I think it's a pathway to heaven is like there. It is, I think, anyway, I am really privileged to have you as a student, as much as with the other students, your group, and exciting. In every, like 5 years ago group, like 5 years ago, the people I was taught, and they're so sad they can't into this year. I thought you're going to the same thing, you're learning differently, but and they think loads of people wanted to have a connection. That's what we are not able to cut off that. We are not going to cut off that connection with you, because there's always clinic there. We're always there, always material there, always, if you want to, you can call and you can send a message, and always the clinic and the institute and the association, everything is there for you, and it is not easy thing to do, especially as a woman, but it is okay, it is also experience, learning to be a, very authentically is like a woman, and not, yes, it's a quiet fight, and it's a fight is not, not with other person and with me to bring my best out. One day it will come to alive, and it is very slow process, but it is, and always I'm very feminine person. I like to be a woman, and like the thing is, we don't have to fight. We just had to be doing the right thing, is it? And I know that cover person, I don't have to tell you that much.
You're right. But I think that's it as well, is you don't have to fit a box with Ayurveda. Every different person that practices will bring something else to it, whether that's your constitution and how you're made up, or your strengths, or or your gender, there will be different things that you bring that will connect with somebody else, and and then they should hopefully be attracted to you as a practitioner and want to, because of something that you provide them, and we will all come with our unique things.
And like when you practicing or when you're teaching, you not only become your teacher or the doctor, you did becoming your colleague, your friend, and you become their mother, their friend. I don't know, whatever you say, I have to have that quality, and that's what the practitioner mean. Whenever a patient come to see you, and it's all qualities. I think you're a woman, it doesn't matter, you're a mother, you are, like everything. They looking from this person to nurture them, is it? And then hold them. I think it's like in a teaching or the practicing is the same thing. People I feel, like people looking for that connection, you see. Most of the time they lost without that. And then, the even teaching, I think, is like when I teach into you, I don't feel anything rather than, it's like I know you. I really know you well. I don't know how, but like I have few years with you and then time with you, but individually I know, their inner very well. And then I know because of the space we providing to people, they can be honest and they can be really open and connected to each others. And that how learning should be begin, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more individualized that way, isn't it? Because even if you're teaching in a group, you can manage to do that if you know them well enough. You can adapt how you teach them something because you know that they wouldn't understand that way, or or actually you do lots of illustrations on the whiteboard, which lots of us love because we learn better by pictures than words. But you've also got a PowerPoint and you also speak, so that provides all the different things that people can learn by, which is much better than just a lecture.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And Vicky, at last, I need to ask as a Western or the allopathic doctor to the Ayurvedic practitioner or doctor now, what you'll be able to give to the patient differently than previously as a GP?
I think, if I'm working in the Ayurvedic world, then I can bring knowledge from what medicines they might be on. I know the conditions that they may have been diagnosed with really well. Side effects of what medication they can be on. I can understand blood tests, so I can adapt that learning and then move it into the Ayurvedic world. And then the other way around, I can, I already give my GP patients so much diet advice. They definitely think I'm very funny, and because that's not something that we're taught in Western medicine. And actually lots of people crave for that knowledge. They don't know how to eat themselves better, and that's something that they have control over. So I give a lot of diet advice out in Western medicine, and a little bit of lifestyle as well, but I can't obviously take it more than that. But in my head, treating people in general practice, I'm thinking, well, you're massively pitta, so I need to adapt this. I need to tell you what to eat. Or, wow, you have a vata problem. We need to, and I'll tell them to get some oils to moisturize joints with. And just because what they need, but you also have to sit with the Western medical hat on, and that is my constant battle.
Yes. In future, what would you want to change in teaching in the medical schools?
They need to have more knowledge about food, and diet and lifestyle. I think that in a Western medical school is the knowledge that they need. It is a huge hole in the medical school teaching that just never really gets discussed, and that would be very powerful, and it would avoid lots of medicines.
And a lot of disorders, a lot of medicines, and a lot of chaos we are in NHS at the moment, is it? How many patients you're seeing in a 30 patients a day, and it can reduce 2 patients a day because all the people are coming to you just because of their diet is wrong, or their lifestyle is wrong, or they are done something, like behavior, something like that. And then, and the chaos we have, in so many patients, we can reduce to half of them if you know how to deal with their health with this life and diet and lifestyle, is it?
Well, this is also what we need because of the explosion of our obesity epidemic, you know,
Yeah.
the metabolic syndromes that people have, their diabetes, their high blood pressure, this little family of such common diseases at the moment that require so much follow-up and medicine and money to manage
Yeah.
in Western medicine. And
Yeah.
actually, so much of that is really, really reversible,
Yeah.
completely reversible and curable. And
Yeah.
then it, you know, if you look at it from a financial point of view, the NHS would, you know, would have millions a year extra to spend on other things.
Yeah.
People would have, you know, proper holistic health again. And it's all under their control. Something like
Yeah. End of the day, you know, you'll be a good ambassador to Ayurveda, and you know, do some, you know, like, you know, you have a whole kind of younger life ahead, you know, like to do much difference in the people life and in this healing world, you know. And I wish you all the best, and take your time, and you can be the best, you know, practitioner or doctor in the world, because you know the both sides, you know. And not that, you know, you want to know everything, but you could have advantage, you know, being you know, the GP to transform into the Ayurvedic doctor is like a lot of, you know, mind you, you learned 6 years in a medical school as well, some form of healing system, and plus us 3 years, and it is a quite a bit of learning. And I think it's all going to pay really well, you know, for you, you know, and then it will be the, you know, you can take the best out of yourself as a healer.
Thank
You
you.
know?
Thank you for everything that you've done for my learning and my teaching. I'm exceptionally grateful. And yeah, absolutely adore you as a person.
Oh, thank you. I do, you know, like you're all very, very good. You know, I have a whole students with very, very warm relationships, you know. And yeah. Okay, Vicky, I will let you go. Your little one is like, yes, mommy is coming.
Lunchtime, I need to go sort her out.
Oh.